Nothing.
There wasn't one.
Well, they don't know how to deal with people. They're very people that are supposed to help you try and find a job, and they can't do the job properly.
I've missed a date when I was informed that I didn't have to sign on until today for an hour personal interview. And I should have come in yesterday, which I was told I didn't have to. So it looks as though I lose a week's worth of my benefits.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not very happy. This has been a complete waste of my day. I have a lot on, but I could have spent it doing a lot better things like looking for work. To be told that it's now scheduled for the 1st of March and I should have been contacted yesterday and I wasn't.
Well, they're quite helpful. They answered all my questions and they seem quite happy to help me.
Honestly, not a lot really. There's nothing out there at all.
Signed on. That's it, really.
What's the class? Well, they signed me on. That's for today. Yesterday I went to A4E and did CVs and stuff like that. And yes,
How do you?
still haven't got a job.
There really wasn't one. If I'm honest. Seriously? Tiring. To be honest, and abnormal.
My job centre advisor gave me a little bit of advice about my field of expertise because she was a little bit in there, so that was nice. That was like a little personal touch.
Not a lot at the moment. I'm looking for an upholstery course, which I'm trying to get advice on today. But as I say, there's not many jobs about at the moment.
Unfortunately, no good.
Quick service, just really quick.
We don't get any benefit. Well, looks
get
after our
DNA,
child,
that's it.
and that's about it. Doesn't go very far.
They don't. Too bad.
At the moment, I can't complain because I live at home. I don't have to pay loads of rent, bills. You know, I help out occasionally. But if I was living by myself, then it wouldn't be enough.
It goes in and goes straight out on food. You know, I'm not working, my partner works and that pays the mortgage, and when I was laid off before, all the savings I did have has gone to pay the bills and everything. So, yeah, it's not a great situation whatsoever. I think it's quite disgusting, actually.
Well, I've got some things going on at the moment, so they help me just pass the time with that. They're helping me get a job, which is very good because I tried doing it on my own, and it was just a nightmare. And they've come up with some good solutions. I've also going to college soon, and they're going to help me with that, which is quite beneficial. So,
Well, my daughter really. 'Cause I've got to live.
It sort of helps me during the 2 weeks while I'm not working and I'm not earning any more money.
Not really, because I live out in the middle of nowhere. And to go to a job interview, I only get £50 a week, £52 a week. Well, I think it might be up to 60 now. I get my rent paid, obviously, which helps, but no, it's hard to go to work interviews and stuff like that. Just can't afford it, really.
Yeah, to sort of, well, keep me alive whilst I haven't been working. So yeah, no, that is good. That is good. They supply my girlfriend and not me.
Well, mainly in financial terms, and I'm pretty sure that that's the only way, because then that leads to warmth and shelter and food.
Get me to and from town to look for jobs and go out on a weekend.
My benefits, they don't really.
It helps me pay the bills. Helps me survive that.
What, like job applications?
Job applications?
Yeah, I don't get many.
I feel like you send out 100 applications.
Probably don't get about 5 now.
Now, how do you feel about that?
Crap.
Very few. And how does that make you feel? Waste of time.
For every 10 I apply for, I'll probably say 1, 2 get back to me.
Yes, you're one of your students.
I've had one interview in 6 weeks and I've applied for about 10 jobs. From everything to shelf stacking, working in Co-op, Tesco's, B&Q, Worthing Hospital, and one I'm hoping to hear from in the next week.
Nothing at the moment. Absolutely nothing. And I'm giving at least 4 or 5, even 6 sometimes CVs out. Nothing. Not even McDonald's.
Barely many. I keep on applying about 5 jobs a week. I don't hear nothing back.
Probably about 50-50.
I get a reply to everything, to be honest. You know, I pretty much.
And how do you feel about them taking the time to reply to you?
Yeah, no, I think that's good. You know, I think anybody that acknowledges anything when somebody's taking the time to write in and send whatever application it is, then yeah.
No. And how do you feel about that?
Well, it depends what you do if you're dodgy, I suppose.
That's a good question because I haven't made that many applications. I've only made about 3 and I've got 1, so let's call it 33%.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
Fine, because I'm looking forward to my job interview on Wednesday. I don't want to get the job. Thank you.
None. Because they keep cutting the job, so of course you don't get replies from them, even if you do send them.
And how do you feel about that? How does it feel not to get a reply?
That's annoying because at the end of the day, basically, they say to you, you know, if you don't look for jobs or anything like that, you don't get paid. Well, how can you look for a job if they're cutting jobs down?
I think it's what you know, it's who you know really sometimes I think. But like as I say, I ring up who I can because the same people know me. They're not like you keep getting references and all that, you know. And they don't help you with the job centre by like, you know, how you supposed to get to work. You know, I mean, unfortunately, it's only on like me signing on with you. I've got my money. I can manage to get to work. You don't get no help. I can get to work, so you got to pay it. You know, bearing in mind you got to work a week in hand. You still got to live, eat, whatever, pay your bills, your rent, your gas.
Quite a few.
Okay. And how do you feel about that?
I feel really good about it. I did work experience with them and got the job, so that's how I went.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. Get a job at the end of it.
So obviously you can't just go out and work and then you've got like, well, we've got a child to raise and obviously you can't live off nothing with a baby. It costs money at the end of the day. You see people out on the street who have nothing, because obviously you need a fixed address to get benefits. And there's people who live on the street, they can't get an address, so therefore they live off nothing. But then they're never going to get the money to get anywhere if no one helps them out, do you know what I mean?
It depends on your job at the end of it, to be quite honest, because it's all right I'm saying, oh, you've got to go out and do something to get your benefits, but what, line somebody else's pocket? Yeah?
Depends. If there's a proper job at the end of it, then I'll do it, because I've got a bachelor's degree in forensic science, so I don't want to do the kind of jobs they've told me. They've told me to sort of, you know, work in a building site. I didn't slug out 4 years of uni to work in a building site. All they care about is really sticking anyone in any job. That's it.
If your interview goes well, then fair enough if you've got the training and all the rest of it. But I think things are just getting harder in this country, full stop. You know, there's not a lot of help from these places like this, I don't think. You come in to sign on every 2 weeks, they're there to help you. Last time I signed on, she was just going on about how hard it is for the young. And you know, what about the rest of us?
No, I can't say that. It would depend if there was a proper job at the end of it. I think people need to be motivated. You know, I think it helps them get out of bed. It gives them a purpose in life. Well, it does me anyway. I can't stand sitting at home doing nothing. There's nothing to do. It drives me mad. So to have something to do is brilliant. So for me, it wouldn't matter if there was a job at the end of it or not, as long as I enjoyed what I was doing.
No, I'd still do it because all experience is good experience, isn't it? So it'll get you somewhere.
Yeah, it probably would have to be there, a proper job at the end of it, yeah. It's like last time I was on a future job funds they had here, I was working for the fire service, and all of a sudden the contract ended and the government couldn't spend any more money on anything else. So I was made redundant due to that.
As long as they pay my travel costs and everything, yeah.
Okay, and would it depend
it's all
on
experience, isn't it?
Would it depend on if there was a proper job at the end of it?
Yeah, but I still want my travel costs paid. You know, while I'm on benefit, yeah. It's very unaffordable at the moment.
I think, yeah, because at the end of the day, otherwise, you know, I think that otherwise employers are just getting money for, you know, to be honest, for what you've paid your taxes for, you know. In my case, I've not been signed in on that long, and I've been working for, 15, 16 years. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, I've put in, and I've now at a point where I need it coming out, so why should I go and work for somebody for nothing? Like,
No way.
You don't work for nothing?
No, I work for cash in hand.
It would depend on my personal situation and how I was feeling at the time. I think if you offered it to me now, I wouldn't want to do that because I feel like I've got a lot of options still open to me.
If there was a real job at the end of it, then yeah, I would. But doing it for a month, I don't see the point. I mean, yeah, it gives you experience, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get nowhere from it.
I think that's good for certain people because it gets you back into like, you know, you're getting your self-esteem, getting your sort of like, you know, you're building up your confidence because sometimes you know, when you keep getting rings and calls and you keep getting knockbacks and whatever.
It would depend for me. If there was an actual job at the end, I'd probably do it. But if not, I'll probably try and do it sometimes just for the experience.
I mean, I come down here every day and you look at the jobs, they're not jobs, they're not real jobs. I don't suppose there's any work out there for anybody, so I don't know. What do you say to the government? I don't know. I really don't know.
Put a bit more money into helping people really find the kind of work they want. Don't just give them anything, you know. There's a lot of money that's being spent elsewhere, I think, unnecessarily, without it being spent on the real people that need it.
I think you need to take a good look at yourselves and what you earn and how hard it is for the likes of us that want to work to go and get a job. And I think they should actually try it than sitting on their backsides belittling people that actually want to work and come.
They could create more jobs. There are loads of things out there that they could do to help people get into work. You know, they and like I'm trying to put everything down so I wanted it into words. But like jobs like sweeping the roads, keeping the roads clean, they could help that people get those jobs. You know, there are care workers for children, for adults, for people with disabilities that could use help, and they don't really make it easy for people to get jobs. You know, it's very strict now. Like one of the things I was talking to my friend actually the other day, apprenticeship, sorry, that was what I was looking for. That was a brilliant idea. So you promote so many people were actually just going out there and getting jobs through apprenticeships and getting jobs they actually wanted to do, so they were more likely to stay and work for doing that sort of thing, instead of getting some job they don't like doing, which they're not going to be happy doing, and then they're just going to fall out at the end of it, because when they want to go to a job like a building trade, for instance, plumbing, plastering, I've done all those sort of things, but I was quite lucky because my family's a building family. But so many people wanted to do that sort of thing but can't, because they go in and ask for an apprenticeship and they don't do it anymore.
Back up your ideas and give us our jobs.
I think really, to be perfectly honest, they've helped me out, they do job searches for me.
Okay, how about the guys who run the country? Those guys in charge. What would you like to...
Well, I don't really take any notice of what they're doing, to be honest, because I don't take any notice, it's just not for me.
Oh, massive one. I've got a big one at the moment is when people are supposed to go to jobs that aren't either agency based or where they're, you know, weekly paid jobs. A lot of jobs these days are monthly paid. Now, you can sign on for a consecutive amount of time. Unless you sign on for a whole 6 months, there's no help after that. So you have 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes 5 weeks to go before you've got any money. Stop taking big bonuses, raping the country, and go and do some proper work.
What would you like to say to them?
It's my arse and give me free money. Just fucking reorganise the system and stop giving all the power to the fucking tiny percent in charge, you know, and all the money that way as well. And to try and balance out a system where, all right, we're going to use money, but it's not just a capitalist feeding system of exploitation.
Sort themselves out.
I think they've got to listen to the people, us, you know, the people who are unemployed, who have got the ideas and like, you know, to try new things in that, you know, and give people a chance, you know, it's difficult to sort of put into words, basically.
I'm not too sure, really. I don't really know what to say. Just keep it going. Yeah.
We could be making love if you want a bitch. When you look at all those parties, really makes me itch.